segula bowi khala bowi khala
Bella I don't need to know the score. And that goes for you out there online also. Don't chat me what the score is in the middle of the game. But I think this service is probably going to be about 3 innings, so we'll be able to get back for the 7th inning or so, maybe the 8th inning. I don't know. I don't even know what the score is or what inning it's in. So let's go to page 10. We're going to start just saying what a good day it is that it's Shabbat. Maya fehayo, Shabbat Shalom. Maya fehayo, Shabbat Shalom. Let's try that again. Maya fehayo, Shabbat Shalom. Maya fehayo, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. I'd like to invite Linda Smith, who came in and told me the score at the beginning of the session today, to come up and light the candles for us. But you just have to light them. You don't have to say anything, but you can grace us with your presence. I'm just stalling as she's making her way up. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. We are on page 2. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Thank you so much, Linda. So we're going to take just one moment. We're going to continue on page 20 shortly. But this is that time when we've come in here from the outside world. We sang a little bit, brought the light of Shabbat in, and now let's try to really bring ourselves into this place, this present moment. I don't know about you, but I have a lot of distractions every day with what's happening in our world. And to come here and just sit and be still and think about what happened to me this week, it's always a great way to end our week. And then we can finish our prayers and sing together and be uplifted for the rest of the evening or for the rest of the innings. So let's take a moment now for a Chazarat HaShavua, a review of our week. Let's go to page 20. kala likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabla lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabla Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad Hishmi'anu el hamiuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad L'shem ultiferet litlilah Lecha dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabla Let's rise and face the entrance, and perhaps we could see the Sabbath bride. Boi v'shalom ateret bala גם בשמחה ובצולה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה Let's stay standing and we'll go to page 28. Baruch hu et Adonai Let's move to page 34 and 35 for the Shema. There is a tradition to keep your eyes closed for a moment, and if you'd like to, I feel like this is that moment where you kind of want to get in touch with your heartbeat and your breath and your relationship to the world. It's a miracle that any of us are here. Seriously. The odds are like 400 trillion to 1 that any one of us would be alive. So we carry gratitude inside of us. And we say there's one energy that keeps it all together. And how fortunate we are to be a part of that energy. So let us sing Shema. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Shema Yisrael Adonai Hashem kavod, malchuto le'olam va'ed. Let's go to page 40 and sing the song that the Israelites sang as they left the Sea of Reeds, a song of our freedom. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, Torah teilot osef ele, Torah teilot osef ele, ma'al lechutecha ra'u vanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe Miriam, Zeheli anu ve'amru, Adonai imloch le'olam. Let's go to 42. We ask for a shelter of peace to come over us tonight, especially as we go to sleep. Third line on page 42 says, Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Give us just some sense of peace. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Now the indented section. Ushmor tzeiteinu uvoenu lechaim ulshalom metave ad olam. Let's just try Before we arrive at the Amidah, we're going to take a moment to sing for those that are ill. It's found on page 253 in the Siddur. So we'll sing this through, and then I'll make eye contact with everybody in the room. And we'll gather these names and then take those names into our hearts and pray on behalf of all the names that are called in this space. You can put things up in the chat as well, and those names will be heard in this room. Eliezer Abraham, Pamela Abraham, Joan Abrams, Karen Altman, Carol Anderson, Jill Kahn, Taylor Carter, Woody Clark, Yaakov Ben Yitzchak, Gemma Del Duca, Andrew de Lunionis, Eitan Chaim, Elisheva Chava, Bat Zalman, Haran, Leah Miriam, Elet Zipporah, Bat Naftali Ephraim, Vitzira, Judy Fenton, Danny Kaplan Fredrickson, Shir Gaon, Lisa Gilman Shanzer, John Gearhart, Eric Innocenti, Renee Kumitz, Sherry Linder, Ashley Murdoch, Nachum Laser, Ben Yaakov, Rob Porper, Howard Rosen, Lee Silver, Lindy Sobel, Marvin Sobel, Nathan Sabel, Mabube Soleimani, Rose Ugalnik, Helena Wachtel, Yehudit Bat Nehama Mordechai, Howard Zellico, and Brian and Linda Zussman. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Let's go to page 46. Please rise for the Amidah. We'll sing this first line together and then we'll go silent. You can read through the prayers in the Siddur or prayers from your heart. And I think it's page 62. We'll continue. Just be seated when you're done and we'll join together when we're all finished. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. We're on 62. Oh, say shalom bimroma. Oh, yeah, say shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'imru יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Can you think back to the moment when you kind of really became you? What I mean by that is when you finally discovered what, at least even maybe for even a limited time period, what you were supposed to be doing in your life, what you were meant to do, or at least figured out maybe who you were and what you stood for. Now, I realize that none of us may be there yet, and we're still on that journey, and that is a lifelong journey, but there are moments in our lives when there's kind of a discovery of ourselves. And I imagine that most of the time you weren't sitting in your parents' living room. Although after writing that, I realized you might have been sitting in your parents' living room when you realized this, but you'll see what I mean by that as I work through this. Our Torah portion for the Shabbat, which we discussed earlier, is Lech Lecha. We're introduced for the first time to history, you might say. The biblical scholars always think of what came before Abraham as prehistory, and then with Abraham begins history. So Abraham, called Abram at that point, he's still living with his family. He never left his dad's house. And he's called upon in this Torah portion to Lech Lecha, to go forth. It is Lech Lecha, me artzecha umi moladetecha umi beit avicha. Translation: go for yourself or to yourself. Lecha could be to or for. Rashi translated as for your benefit, actually. From your land, from your birth, and from your father's house. Now, many people translate the first two as from your native land, but I like to take them separately, because if you look carefully at those three ideas, you get a hint possibly as to how we go about finding who we are. So Abraham finally finds himself, but he does it by leaving. He does it by leaving behind all those people who loved him and took care of him and provided for him, but he had to go to discover really who he was. And the three different places that God tells us to leave are kind of like in ascending order of importance, and that circle that it represents. For instance, first he's asked to leave his land. So if you think about land is like, as George Carlin says, I think of the land as the place where your stuff is, right? George Carlin says you keep your stuff in one place, you go on vacation, you put it in, all your stuff in a like smaller place to carry your stuff, then you go from there to another. Anyway, it's pretty funny. You can look that up on YouTube. But so that's where your stuff is. Then he's asked to leave his extended family, all those that were kind of involved in his birthright. That group he's connected to his entire life, but it's not necessarily who's living in his home. So one might say that's his community. And then finally, he's asked to leave his father's house, his father, who could be, besides Sarai, the most important person to him in the world. So we can look at this idea of growth from two ends. First, it could be like your own view. Do you think it is true that we only grow when we're able to leave our families' homes and go out into the world, detached from our parents' way of life, with them no longer telling us kind of what we should do and how we should do it and where we should go? Doesn't growth come out of our own personal experiences that we have in the world, as opposed to it being filtered through someone else telling us how to experience the world? One can never truly escape from their family, in the family influence, and I would never recommend that we escape our family influences and those relationships that we build up through childhood that are so important in our lives. But all of us need to kind of figure out what life is on our own. And a lot of times that can't happen if you're kind of, I'm going to use the word, stuck in this place that you've been your whole life. So then let's look at it from the other point of view. As a parent, right, who has a child, can we allow that to happen? And it reminds me of, in Kabbalah, there is early and late Kabbalah. In late Kabbalah, it's actually called Lurianic Kabbalah, which comes from Isaac Luria. And his concept of the way the world was created was that at the very beginning of everything, there was only God. So God took up all space, all time, everything. So when God wanted to create the world, how are you going to create if you take up all the space? So God had to do something called tzimtzum, which is to kind of contract into God's self so that there would be a vacuum. And in that space, God's light goes in there and God creates the world. Then there's this crazy accident and we have to fix it, and that's where we get Tikkun Olam. But before that, God's everywhere, realizes creation can't happen unless I do have a God complex at this moment. I have to pull back and make it so I'm not everywhere. And I always thought as a teacher, right, as a parent, that you have to let go a little bit of that if you're taking up all of the space in order for someone to grow. So I really feel the Torah portion teaches us, in order for us to find our own relationship with ourselves, and I'm standing here, I don't know if any of you are still living with your parents, but different times of our lives, we do need to kind of reinvent ourselves a little bit, or we're starting new stages of our lives. Maybe it's our hint to kind of, go to Joshua Tree for a couple of days, or get away from your world and your life and all the people that you're with, so you can kind of look at your life and your experiences without those distractions, and perhaps that's one way that we can kind of concentrate a little more on what we need to do. For Abraham, he had to go to Canaan to find out who he was. I don't know if we have to go that far, but hopefully by going to a place where we can discover ourselves, we can find that space that can welcome us. Shabbat Shalom. All right, let's go to 282 and our final prayers, Aleinu. And I'd like to ask you to rise. Aleinu לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובהי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אינו, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. 287 ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו sit down for a moment. Let's go to page 294 for Kaddish Yatom. And I'd like to ask if there's anyone here in the first week after the death of a loved one in Shiva. Is there anyone here in the first 30 days of mourning that would like to share? Is there anyone who has a yahrzeit on this Shabbat that would like to please stand and tell us the name of who you're here to say Kaddish for? And is there anyone here in the first year after the death of a loved one? Share that name. Thank you. In our I'm so sorry, Elizabeth. Those in our congregational family whose families are observing Shloshim is Alan Bandler, Paris Norafshan, and Dr. Hushang Tabibian. And we also remember these congregants whose yahrzeits occur on this Shabbat. Gwen Abney, Morris Baum, Isidore Benjamin, Lottie Bigelson, Arnold Deegan, Tessie Gumbiner, Horace Johnson, William Katzenstein, Shirley Newman, Laura Smith, Ed Wecker, Estelle Weisberg, John White, and Rosalind Wyman. We take all these names into our hearts as we rise together to say Kaddish as a community. We say it for those also that have no one to say it for them. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei ve'amlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'l'olmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpo'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, V'yit hadar, v'yit aleh, v'yit halal, shemei dekudusha berichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Huya aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to the whole world. And we say, amen. You may be seated. Okay, I have a couple announcements, but you're going to see how fast these go. Ready? Oh, this Saturday, 6:30. Sound bath. That's exactly what it looks like. We take all the chairs out in the sanctuary. It's really amazing. Has anyone ever not been to a sound bath? Not been? Oh, you know what it does is it stimulates the waves in your brain. It's very relaxing. It's kind of like a meditation with sounds, crystal bowls and gongs and. It's pretty amazing, actually. Okay, that's at 6:30 this tomorrow night. We have a community retreat coming up on November 14th to 16th. Let us know if you want to go. There's still some spots available. Next, Shabbat in the Yard with Jason Meshes. This is for little ones if you have grandchildren or young children. So you can't bring your kids, Andy. Sorry. They'd be a little old, and it would be awkward. Next, we have our poker tournament on November 9th. There's usually 10 people at the final table, but there's only going to be 9 spots open because I'm going to be taking one of those spots, but you're welcome to join us to try to get one of those other 9. And if you'd like to join Cantor Weiss, she's going on March of the Living, where they go to Poland and then Israel. It's a wonderful trip. She's going to be leading it in April. So if you're interested, let us know. And if you're a young professional, we're having a happy hour with Temple Akiva. I think that's only because our rabbis are married. That's the reason why we're doing that together. Yeah, Matt, you're the only one in this group that actually could go. No, Jason, you could go to this one too, but all the rest of us, we're not allowed there. Sorry, Linda. It's 40, under 40. Well, okay, all right, we can talk after. Mazel tov to Sarah and Jared. Jack Robert Blitz was born October 6th. There he is. And his sisters look pretty happy. That's a very nice picture. And lastly, Esty, she's not here, but we're going to wish her a happy birthday as well. It's kind of good to have, is it today her actual birthday? She has Halloween as her birthday, do you know? We don't know if it's today, this week. Okay. Well, that was exciting. All right, let's end. I think Adon Olam is page 321. Since everyone's thinking about the baseball game, let's sing it to Take Me Out to the Ball Game. We should be able to do that. 3, 2, 1. Adon Olam Hashem Malach B'Terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'et Nasa B'Chefzocho Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei Kichlot Zakol Levado Yimloch Nora V'hu Haya V'hu Hoveh V'hu Yeh B'Tifar. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. We've got some special Michelle Challah back there, so let's have a little wine and a little challah. Let's do our wine first. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen l'chaim, wherever he may be. Why are you guys so far away? I showered.